Hello friends and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I am going to address the information, what's coming next in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for the month of February. Now, we don't, at the making of this recording, we don't know who's next on the horizon for the daily login character. We're not sure about that. But we do have a number of things, and what I would like to do is go ahead and address two major topics, and that is the what's ahead in the content post, the content update that was launched on the 1st or the 25th of January, so a couple of days ago, and the rumors about Darth Revan. An I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into this. We know that Darth Revan is not coming to the game yet. I got an email from the powers that be at CG and EA, and I'm going to be heading out in February for an event that is going to launch a new game feature. Now, we don't know when it's going to launch. We don't know when it's going to be available to the players and the public, or even what it's going to focus on. But it could be a lot of different things. But in that same email, I got this. It says, Capital Games has confirmed that it is not Revan. It referring to this new game mode, right? But the community will be very excited to see what is in store for them. Now, that's a lot of people. I mean, if it's not Revan, they don't care. But I'm looking into this information, and it's just speculation, guys. But we have this what's ahead on the content update from the 25th, and it says,
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Now that is clearly a reference to Emperor Palpatine and his conversation with Anakin when he's talking about Darth Plagueis, when he's talking about the dark side in general. I dig a little bit further. Now, I gotta thank Mobile Gamer for showing this in his video, and I found it from what he was talking about, but there was a back and forth from CG Cozy Spoon. So for those of you who don't know, CG Cozy Spoon is the forum moderator for the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes forum, right? And so she's the one that launches most of the updates. She's the one that interacts with the community. And she apparently is a really nice person. My interactions have only been via chat and stuff. But she said this. She has this little quote. She's like, gosh, trying to remember what happened last February. Innocent whistle. Now, for those of you who don't remember what happened last February, or for those of you who are just new and weren't around, last February was when we got the Lord of Hunger Dark Side event. This was the event that gave us Darth Nihilus. Now, I'm very excited, and really much of my curiosity and speculation for today's video comes from what happened last year. Now, EA and CG are just like all of us, they're slave to trends, and they follow a specific pattern, right? We know that in a couple of days, like 2 days before the end of the month, they're going to give us information about who's coming next, and that's going to kind of fuel further speculation. They're going to give us these funny little, what's ahead clues. They told us, hold on, Holdo, to what you love, right? Or something like that. And that was the quote from Rose, but it had that little twist to it. So I'm really curious as to what this could mean. And I've come up with a few major things that I think we could see. And really what it comes down to is three things: new characters, or reworks, or a new event. Because we don't know what game function or game thing they're really talking about, what big feature, because a feature could really be anything. I'm leaning more towards like a raid or something like that, because usually a feature is something that's playable and it comes with characters. I do think that we're either going to get new characters or we're going to get some reworks. Now, based on the straight up obvious, it sounds like this could be a few different things. It could be that we're getting Darth Plagueis. Now, I'm not sure that we're going to. It would be cool to have Plagueis introduced. He is canon simply because he was mentioned in that scene in episode 3. He's canon, right? His story, however, is not, but he himself is. Now that's a curious thing in and of itself. What we could get is we could get a Hero's Fall event. You know, we could see Anakin go through the prequel movies, and we could see him fall. You know, we could see him in different phases. We could see him going up against Dooku and battle droids, and it could be a form of a rework, right? We could get this with this new Anakin. That would be sweet. And you know, I said this in a video a couple of days ago on Cam's channel, where it would be funny. And this is kind of a dark humor, but it would be kind of funny to see Anakin go through and have to fight off a bunch of younglings. But that would be really cool, because that is something that a lot of people have talked about. They want a more dark side love, because we've had a lot of light side characters recently. We have heroes' journeys. Could we have journeys to the dark side? That would be really sweet, and it'd be a really fun way to introduce new characters as well, and to make use of characters that don't get a lot of love. Now, if it's not the fall of Anakin, and it goes with that speculation where it's just one new character that has nothing to do with anything, kind of like Darth Nihilus was. We were excited for it. It was super cool, but he wasn't really connected to anything. We could get a new character like Plagueis who isn't really connected to anything in this game yet. Now, that is my thought. That's what I'm thinking. Because when it comes to, if this were just me, and it makes logical sense, or at least in my mind, it makes logical sense. You introduce a character like Darth Nihilus. Doesn't have much of a connection. You have Sith Trooper, Sith Assassin, super cool, right? Awesome. But then you go a year without doing anything with it. Do you then reintroduce the rest of the group? Do you introduce other Sith or connected to Darth Nihilus? And if that's the case, we could see Traya or Kreia and Scion. Those three created the Sith Triumvirate. It was from the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic video game. Really fun game. I enjoyed playing it when I was younger. It wasn't actually that long ago that I did play it. Nihilus does have a connection with Traya and Scion. They formed the Sith Triumvirate. Now, if you go to the Sith wiki, it says the Sith Triumvirate was a loose affiliation or loose alliance of what remained of the dark Revan Sith Empire that almost destroyed the Jedi Order during the era of strife that took place after the Jedi Civil War. Now, here's the thing, right? You introduce a character early enough that it becomes normalized. It becomes, oh, this is a super cool character. This is a super cool thing. So then later on, you can build upon that. If they were to introduce characters like Traya, like Scion, if they were to introduce just Sith in general, I mean, they've already got Nihilus, it would be easier and make more sense to introduce a Revan character. That would be pretty sweet. Then if they came with Revan, it would also come with Malak. I think that would be awesome, right? You introduce characters that are going to be cool, but may not be known to the greater game base, right? They'll love them, they'll fall in love with them, they'll learn more about them, and then they'll introduce characters like Revan, who everyone knows at least something about. Maybe not a ton, but something. That's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to introduce characters like that now, so that later on, when there is more of a lull, they can really build out other stuff, right? Now, if you look at it, we have the Solo movie coming out in May, right? Unless something spectacular happens and it gets pushed back again. I think it's coming out in May. But what I think is going to be interesting is what's going to happen between May of 2018 and December of 2019. It's a year and a half of nothing, right? A year and a half of no movies, no TV shows scheduled, nothing like that. What I'm thinking is going to happen is they're going to have to use characters like Revan, characters that will draw people to the game during that period of fasting, during that period of nothingness, because otherwise they might start losing players, right? If they haven't already. Now, I'm thinking, though, that's what they're going to do. I would expect Revan probably end of this year or May of next. If it's not Traya, if it's not Scion, we could see Snoke added to the game. We've seen some Resistance love lately, quite a bit of it in fact, and we really haven't seen a whole lot of First Order love, so it might be something that we get out of. We might get a Snoke character. Now, they may come out with a book that says, oh, Snoke was Darth Revan, or Snoke was Bane, or whoever. Snoke was Scion, or I don't know, it doesn't matter. But they might come out with something between now and then that then connects further the characters that they introduce. I'm just saying, I don't know, that would be kind of a cool way to do it, because then you're combining the fan base. The last character that I think that would be cool to be added to the game is Darth Bane. He was the one who created the Rule of Two. He was a pretty awesome character. His books are phenomenal. Now, if it's not introducing new characters, like I said, it could be a series of reworks. We don't have a solid separatist faction, and this quote did take place during the final days of the separatists. Now, it could very well be that this is that rework for the separatists. Like I said, they did say that this is something that we've been looking forward to, that we're excited to see. If it was a separatist rework, let's face it, guys, we've needed that. I've made videos on that, and I will probably continue to make videos on how to make the separatists great again, or great for the first time. They need that. They really do. And it would be awesome to have that added, right? Now, of course, with whatever dark side rework, they'll throw in a few light side characters as well, but whatever. We could get a new Vader. Like I said, it could be Darth Vader Anakin. We could see his fall. We could see a Vader rework. What's more likely, though, is that new character, a Rogue One Darth Vader, or a pre-suit Darth Vader. Those are both very possible outcomes. Those are both very possible, but we don't necessarily know, like I said. And again, we could get a Chancellor Palpatine. Now, originally, I wouldn't have thought, oh yeah, Chancellor Palpatine, or a new Vader, or, that doesn't make, I would have said, that doesn't make any sense, because we already have a Vader, we already have a Palpatine. We have 4 Hans. We have 2 Chewies. 2 Vaders would be fine. 3 Palpatines, or 3 deviations of that character would also be kind of cool. Now, here's my final thought. With this, I do think that we are going to be getting some kind of event, some kind of, it says feature, and I think that means gameplay. I don't think that just means new characters. So it would be cool if we could get levels for ships added, but that doesn't make a lot of sense in this realm, right? That doesn't make a ton of sense for this quote, or based off this information that we have. So what I'm thinking is either a new hero's journey, which like I've mentioned before would be, or Darth Vader Anakin. I think that's very possible. It could be in the form of a new raid. The heroic tank was the last one, the tank is the last one that we got, and that's been like a year and a half, I think. That's been a long time, and I think that it could be time for a new raid. That would be sweet, right? Now that more and more people are getting to a point where they can do some solid damage, a new, there's a lot of different possibilities, but really what I think it's going to come down to is either something that looks like the Lord of Hunger event mixed with the new Ewok, the new Night Sisters event, where it's lengthier than just a marquee event, but it's not as long as a raid, right? I think that we could see something like that, or we'll get a new raid. We could get a completely new game function that hasn't been introduced, or something that was introduced and then done away with. That's possible, but maybe not. I do think that it's going to surround these 2 types of events. If we do get a new game mode at all, it will be one of those 2 things, in my mind. Now, what do you think about this information? Does my analysis make sense? How did I put it together in a logical way? Because to me it makes total sense, and this is like, boom, yeah, that's what's coming. But did I miss the mark? Is there something that I left out? Is there someone that I left out? Is there a piece of element that I didn't think about fully enough? I mean, February turn of March, that is when we are getting the final episodes of Star Wars Rebels. Could it have something to do with that? Could it have something to do with the way those characters play out? I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm really excited about the next month and what it will bring for the game. Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share this video. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And as always, my friends, stay nerdy.